Okay, so let's start this with you introducing yourself. So go for it.
Right, I'm Josh. I'm obviously a bodybuilder. This is my 5th year competing now. I started off PTing, just your average clients, I suppose. I started that 6.5 years ago now. So I've been doing I've done a lot of PT over those 6.5 years. You know, I'm still very busy now, doing about 30 to 35 sessions a week.
On top of all your online coaching?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I've learned to manage my time very well, so that's the key thing. So yeah, and I've obviously been coaching now for the past 3 years, I think. Mm-hmm. 2.5, 3 years. Obviously had more success with a lot of the girls, I suppose, in the bikini classes.
Yeah.
And now taking on a lot more physique guys and bodybuilders now, and body fit girls, which is good. Because it wasn't intentional, it just kind of happened. I've got one girl I started out with, or a couple of girls I started out with, and they did really well, so obviously that attracted other girls then.
Yeah. Awesome. So then what led you into competing? Like, is it one of those things where you're training in the gym and people come up to you and, when are you going to compete? And they sort of push you into it, or were you drawn to it?
Not at all. I never really liked team sports at school or anything like that, because it used to annoy me when other people would mess up, you know.
Yeah.
So I started training when I was about 15. Me and a couple of my best mates I still train with now, actually. And we just used to go to the gym after school. I just used to love the environment. And then I remember it was my dad's, a guy that worked with my dad. He brought me a DVD round. It was Ronnie Coleman's. I think which one was it? Undisputed or something like that.
One of the classics.
Yeah. And I watched that, mate, and I thought, shit, I want to do this. That was insane. You know, I think Ronnie's inspired a lot of people.
Yeah. So completely different now, isn't it, watching the current pros?
Yeah, completely different. And I still go back to watch them DVDs, like Jay Cutler's old DVDs, you know.
Yeah, from J to Z.
Yeah, class, love them. So that was the one thing that really sparked me off wanting to compete. I didn't really see like crazy gains in the gym or anything at the start that people would come up to me and say that. It was mainly that, and I thought I want to take this a bit more serious now.
Yeah. Cool. Was it Jordan has he prepped you for every show?
No, so the first show I did, I had someone helping me, but I was doing my own thing a little bit as well. Mm-hmm. Then the second show I prepped myself for.
Yep.
Because I wanted to experience doing it myself and how it felt, and so I won the qualifier for that show, and I got through to the British and the under 80s. And I coached myself that year for those shows, which was an experience, and learned a lot from doing that. Learned that I never want to do it again. Mate, I don't know. It's a mind game, innit? And I didn't have anybody.
Yeah, mind game is. The mind games they're tough. You know, you need that second set of eyes.
Yeah.
Even if you know what you're doing, you prep other people. It's that last 4 weeks. You know, where 1 minute you look in the mirror and it's fuck, I look good. You can look in the mirror 2 hours later and you're thinking, why am I bothering? Why am I going to compete? And it's a head fuck. It's much easier just to, for me anyway, stay covered up, take my photos. I don't even look at them. Send them to whoever's coaching me and just follow what they say. I just switch off. I try just not to look at my physique. Yeah,
and you can just focus on training and that's it. And that's what I prefer. I still look at my pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, I prefer to, I look after a lot of people as well, so I just want to focus on them. I don't want to focus on myself.
Yeah.
I'd rather someone tell me, yeah, you're looking good, or no, you're still fat, work harder kind of thing.
Yeah.
That works for me much better. I don't like to coach myself.
No, I'm the same. So what I'm trying to do with these is bring on, I don't know if you've seen the other ones that I've done, but bring on people that both Akash and I think are like really passionate about the sport and stuff. So, there's loads of people on Instagram and Facebook that have loads of followers and they put out great content, but I just don't think that they do a great job themselves. That makes sense? You see where I'm coming from? So really what we're trying to get on is the people that are doing it day in, day out, grinding away, and doing it out of a love for it. And I think that comes across then when we get them to talk on here. So that's the kind of people that we're trying to get on here, and then we're trying to obviously provide education. But I also want it to be a bit lighthearted. So I thought we'd kick it off with, I think you're a bit similar to me in that you like a little rant from time to time.
Oh yeah, I love a good rant.
Yeah.
Instagram stories.
Yeah, they're brilliant. So I thought we'd kick off with that. Something lighthearted before we get into the training and nutrition. Anything right now, whether it's a trend that you're noticing on Instagram or it's a trend with your clients, obviously don't name names, but just something that I'm probably going to notice as well. Scrolling through Instagram, you see the same shit and let's go for it.
List as long as my arm for this shit. You know what you want.
Let's go. We've picked it on a low carb day too, right? So fucking go for it.
This could just be a full hour rant if you want.
Yeah, I'm down with that. It will lose me a load of followers, but it's worth it.
So the main things, what really annoy me, I suppose, are people that get into this for the wrong reason. Mm-hmm. So that is my big pet hate. So people either want to be Instagram famous or, they want to just do a show because they think it's going to give a platform to maybe excel on social media or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And, I think they need a bit of a wake-up call because there's very few people making money or good money, that they can live off from having a big following on Instagram. I know people with 500,000 followers, they're not making dick, It doesn't, you see these girls, guys, whoever it may be, that have got massive following, taking pictures with the BPI tubs with their asses out. That got to anyone.
Yeah.
If you want a good platform, help people, educate people, I don't want to see, I see coaches that are just like, are they a fashion model? Are they a coach? I don't know what you are,
Yeah.
That should come across, and I think they'll be the people that stick around, or the people that, like you, like myself, that love bodybuilding, that love helping people, genuinely helping people, not saying it and because it's good money.
We're putting up client results. We're putting up our own results.
Yeah.
We're giving away free education, like in your stories. You're telling people what to do, what not to do. These are I mean, I was talking to somebody yesterday, another trainer, and I was telling him that I've just taken on a new female client that's come from another coach, and she told me to check this coach out on Instagram. And I went onto his feed, and I'm sure it was something like the first 23 or 24 photos were all of him, like modeling type shots and fashionable jeans. Yeah. And you're just like,
well, it's stupid, irrelevant.
Come on, provide value and stuff to your potential clients. Show off your clients that are busting ass.
Yeah.
They love it when you repost one of their photos. It motivates them to know they've made it onto your page.
You're right. You should be proud of your clients as well. You know how hard it is to get results. You know what the work is you got to put in. So, if you look at my Instagram, I mean, it's not on purpose. It's just that I like to show my clients that they're doing well and inspire other people that not everyone's a genetic freak and not everyone walks around at 3% body fat with abs, and not all girls are just walking around with big asses and stuff. People are working hard for it.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what I try and instill in my clients when I get a new client is that, forget all the arty-farty bullshit. Let's just focus on working hard, being consistent, and then we can start to add in other things
Yeah, definitely. Going back to what you said about people competing for the wrong reasons, out of interest, in the last maybe 12 to 18 months, have you had more girls coming to you, first-time competitors, that end up pulling out? Have you had that much? Where they don't already have that passion for training and then using competing as the next logical step. They just want to be Instagram famous. They don't understand what prep really is.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've had that, but I've had a few for the first time. I've never had it before, and then this last year, I had 2 or 3 that have come to me, have not been training very long. When I ask them why they want to compete, it's, I've seen so and so, and I want to do this, and already I'm thinking, this isn't a good reason. And then inevitably, they fuck up on the diet, and eventually we agree that maybe competing's not the right thing for you. I think it's more and more common at the moment.
Yeah, I've definitely had a few of those. You don't understand how the work that it takes, the time that it takes, because obviously Instagram is influencing a lot of people, and this is Instagram's great. I love social media, but obviously you've got to take things with a pinch of salt. And people that are new to even training, they'll look at this and they'll think, "Yeah, I want to do that. I want to be that person." But you don't see, like I said, you don't see this person not making any money.
Yeah.
You know, they're not got the lifestyle that they're portraying on Instagram. You know,
so true.
So yeah, you get a lot of clients that they've trained for 6 months. They tell me they want to compete. I'll straight up tell them no.
Yeah.
It's competing. It's not just getting on stage and looking okay in a bikini or a pair of shorts. You know, you're competing against people.
Yeah.
You don't get on the Olympics after a year of training, do you? You know.
No, it's like going from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And the problem is because they underestimate it, and because they haven't built that foundation and passion of training and clued up with nutrition, when shit gets hard, they buckle.
Yeah, standard. And I think that's the truth with a lot of people. I don't know if it's a generation thing or whatever it is, that people just give up so easy.
Yeah.
And that really grinds my gears, because nothing. People used to have things like this now, they want something, they got it straight away. It's the kind of life we have now. So that does not correlate with bodybuilding.
No, it's a slow, steady progress.
Building muscle tissue is by far a very slow process. If you've trained for 6 months, you're going to have very little muscle mass, because you've probably not been eating very much, not even very well, not training very hard, or not even any idea what you should be doing in the gym. So, when I get clients like that, it's like a fresh start. So, it's educating your clients as well at that point.
Yeah. Before we move on, any other themes that you see across Instagram that...
Yeah, fucking bullshit exercises, that really pisses me off. People are banding stuff up and they're doing all these mad, crazy exercises when they can't even fucking do a bodyweight exercise,
Yeah.
It's harder if you cannot do them in a simple form and shift and much weight doing it, it's just bands for girls, for example. They're doing full banded workouts. Bands have the place, there's no doubt about that. But bands are used a lot in rehab, for people that can't load a muscle. So you're actually regressing your session. I don't think they understand that. If you want a great set of legs or a great set of glutes, you've got to do the same shit that we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Just grab a barbell, grab some dumbbells.
Yeah. Pick an heavy bar up off the floor. You'll get good glutes, I mean, they're looking at girls that have got these perfect bodies on Instagram. They're not understanding that certain people store more fat in certain areas. These girls that you see on Instagram, they're lucky in the sense that most of their body fat is probably on their ass.
Yeah.
It's not intentional. They don't necessarily have big glutes. There's not a lot of muscle there, but they store a lot of fat on their ass. And that's what girls are misunderstanding now, is that you're either born with that or you're not.
Yeah.
You don't get to choose where fat gets stored. So,
No, I agree with you on that. I mean, not a female, but actually one of my old male colleagues could bench press maybe 75, 80 kilos. I come in one week and he's got fucking chains on there. But he's taking the weight down. But he's taking the weight down to like 50 kilos plus chains. I'm just like, why? I said to him, why? You can't even bench 2 plates yet. Like, come on. Like,
why are you making it harder?
Yeah, why are you making it harder for yourself? Like, just set a goal of benching 2 plates, and then go 2.5, 3 plates, and then maybe you can start playing with bands and chains. I mean, I still don't really see, for the average bodybuilder, much of a use, especially not weekly. But yeah, this guy was bench pressing 50 kilos plus chains. It's just illogical.
Somewhere he'll have read or seen that these chains will make him stronger or whatever. Yeah. And that they're applying these to maybe like powerlifters or people that have maxed out the potential in the bench press,
Precisely. Yeah. Running before they can walk.
Yeah, too bad.
And of course, with the female side of it, it looks fun on Instagram, doesn't it? This is what it is. It's easy. It looks good. It's boring to put up a picture of a squat. Yeah. Because everybody else is doing a squat.
Exactly. It's not new.
So you wrap a band and you twist. You contort yourself sideways on a leg press, and suddenly you've created a new exercise, supposedly. Yeah. Okay. Give me your general philosophies behind training. And let's start with females specifically, because as you said, you've really pulled in a big female client base, a lot of bikini competitors. So do you train them differently to the guys? Have you got a favourite split?
So the splits will differ quite a bit, I would imagine. the same principles, working hard, tracking lifts, getting strong. Also for females, I like tracking lifts because especially when they're not dieting, it gives them numbers to focus on rather than the scale.
Yeah.
But that's still a topic completely.
No, I'm with you on Akash and I do the same thing. We set performance goals rather than physique goals.
That's massive, that, especially like in off season or whatever. So yeah, for females, frequency, keep that high, is the same with men. Depending on the training age will depend on the volume in the session. So people with a young training age, they might not benefit from low volume yet because they might not be strong enough to really get much from that. So they might do. They're not used to working hard, basically.
Yeah.
So I'll increase the volume based on that.
Yeah. Sorry, 2 seconds, Josh.
Let's go.
What's the story? Okay, Dad. I've had this. I'm on a call. That's okay. Sorry about that, mate. Where were we?
So volume in sessions. So again, keep the frequency high for females, getting the focus and getting stronger, increasing the volume if they're usually on a training age, low training age. Got a lot of girls now that are really benefiting from 15 sets a session because they can really push themselves in the gym. Mm-hmm. Girls that are newer maybe doing 20 to 25 sets a session, or I might add in a little post-workout circuit thing to do just to increase the volume that way. So upper lower splits quite good for females. Again, the stronger females, push-pull leg splits quite good. I don't do the single body part splits like shoulder and arms, particularly for females, because it's just going to be an absolute waste of time. The output in that session is going to be minimal, so I'd rather get them doing more hard work more frequently, basically.
Yep, so makes sense.
Yeah, legs and glutes, obviously the main focus for female compares. Maybe 2 to 3 times a week on average. Guys, I'd like to train them like I train. Push-pull legs, maybe some upper lower in there. Keep the volume as low as possible and get the most out of as little as possible, basically.
Yeah.
It's really basic what I do with my clients. It's more getting them to buy into what I'm telling them, or getting they have to have a look at my Instagram to know that works what I'm telling them. It's not one client I'm putting up, it's 15, 20, 25. It's not that this doesn't work for me kind of thing, because it does. It works for everyone.
Works across the board. Yeah.
It's just about how much you can apply yourself to it, and that comes with time as well. So it's, again, I'll just adjust my coaching based on how our person is new to training, really.
Yep, makes sense. Mm-hmm. Do you have what's your favourite exercises for, say, glute development for females?
Hip extension, deadlifts, RDLs, things like that. Obviously, hip thrusts, lunging, the variation of lunges, and then I'll put in some accessory work. Obviously, like adductors, maybe a banded circuit at the end. And the reason I do that more than anything is a mental thing for the girls. They get that pump in at the end of a session with the glutes, but I make sure that primarily it's a lot of heavier, compound stuff.
So beginning of the session, focus on the hard, heavy basics, progressively get stronger on that, and then maybe throw in some isolation, pump-based stuff to increase blood flow. Yeah,
well, you don't need to be strong, it's just reps. Get it.
Yeah, good. Okay, nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
You low-carb guy, high-carb guy, middle of the road?
So, again, the individual to the person. If someone tells me a lot of carbs blow them up, they've got a lot of intolerances, whatever it may be. So when I do clients' diet plans, I'll give them macros and a meal plan.
Yeah, that's what I do as well. Yeah.
So they've got a bit of flex. This is what I would say if it fits your macros is properly. They can change the food around themselves as long as they hit good protein target, they hit the fat and the carb target in those meals as well. Now, I'm not saying go and eat ice cream and shit like that. I mean, I want proper food in there, but you can vary the food sources in that sense, I do try and keep carbs mainly around training. I pushed a lot of girls' calories quite high, so obviously most meals have carbs in. Mm-hmm. On a field performance, so that's a big thing for me. I don't really like low carb and all that shit. I mean, if needs be, then obviously carbs are going to come down as you progress into a diet anyway. Calories are going to come from somewhere.
Of course.
I'll chip away at fat and carbs. There's no specific preference. I like a low carb breakfast. I do like a protein and fat breakfast, I must admit. Even carbs before bed help people sleep as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends on the person really. I mean, it's very, very much individual, and I don't have a specific thing that I follow. Like, it's, if that person can train hard, they'll get a lot of food. If I'm pushing, for a guy off season now, he's going to get a lot of food, so he can have his Cocoa Pops, he can have his bits of shit post workout, because you're not going to get all them calories from sweet potato and rice.
Yeah.
So the same with, like, if a girl's dieting, she's coming to end of a diet of 1,300 calories. She does not need Cocoa Pops in her diet, because she's going to be fucking starving.
Yeah, the food volume is just not enough, right?
Exactly, yeah. So it's all about food volume when your calories are low. Mm-hmm. So that's when the bro food things come in,
Exactly.
So it's a time and place for things like that.
Yeah. Do you find that your female clients, you tend to give them a little bit more cardio or try and increase their output in terms, because as fat loss starts to plateau, you make the choice, don't you? Either decrease the food going in, or you have to increase the output. Yeah. So for that, do you give them a step goal? Do you give them set cardio? You're a fan of HIIT or steady state?
Yeah, so I'll give them a step counter HIIT, which will progressively get more as the diet goes on, obviously. Or I'll say X amount of those steps needs to be on a treadmill, getting your heart rate up, so 30 minutes, but you've got to get your heart rate up. The rest of it can just be really low intensity. Go for a walk, get outside. I think the females, obviously, they need more cardio. Fat loss is harder.
Yeah.
In a lot of sense, it's slower. The body really doesn't want to go to low body fats. It's not natural for females. So, in that sense, they have quite a high output usually, by the time the diet's finishing.
Yeah.
It's like, I think there was a phase a bit ago of like going, you're doing 40 minutes cardio a day, and that's stupid. You don't need to be doing that. You need to do what you need to do. If you're getting on stage, or you want to be a specific body weight or look a certain way, you need to do what you need to do. Everybody's different. Some people will get lean on no cardio, minimal output, and some people will need an hour of cardio a day.
Yeah.
It is, there's no right or wrong. I just try to minimise. I don't like to run people into the ground. I mean, if they've got to be on 1,000 calories 6-7 weeks out, they're not in a position to get on stage. They're not in a position to be dieting, so be working on pushing the calories up, building more muscle.
Definitely.
Put them in a better place to diet from, basically.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I mentioned that actually on the Rawdon podcast, that there was Joe Binley put up something on Facebook that was along the lines of, if you're not prepared to eat white fish and greens 5-6 meals a day to get in shape, don't compete. Yeah. And it's not saying that that's what you have to do. It's just saying that if you want to compete and truly be in the best shape possible, mentally you need to be prepared to do this. As you said, you have to be prepared to potentially do that hour of cardio. As coaches, as good coaches, I like to say, our goal is to have you eating as much and doing as little as possible. Yeah. That's in an ideal world. Yeah. But not everyone can do that.
No, I mean, people differ every year. People have a lot. You can have one client that there's no cardio one year, but the next year you've got to do more cardio, because there's external stresses in their life now. They're slowing them down. They're not sleeping as much. There's all these different factors you've got to consider as well. So it's not the same every time, even for the same people.
Yeah. Would you say that this prep for you has been different to your last prep?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot less. I took a lot less stuff, a lot less drugs.
Yep.
Which is always a bonus.
Yeah, perfect.
I've done no cardio. My output's been a lot less, and I probably attribute to that, like obviously working with Jordan, pushing food very high off season. Mm-hmm.
What did you peak at calorie wise?
Between 5 and 6.
Okay.
I was having to eat a bit of shit to get it in, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I got to the point where I couldn't push anymore. I think I got to 205, which is not heavy, but I've not got a massive appetite either. So that was, for me, that's the hardest thing, is trying to push for that size.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. When I diet, I don't get hungry. For me, the thing that I struggle with on a diet is just the monotony of it towards the end. But,
the energy.
Yeah, the energy, the monotony, just the, just grinding away every day. That's the mental aspect that I struggle with. But I'm never hungry.
No, I can deal with it.
Which is great when I'm dieting.
Yeah.
But in the off season, I think I'm quite like you, where you give me once I'm about 6 to 8 weeks in, of around 4,500 to 5,000 calories, the novelty wears off.
yeah.
You sit down to a meal and you're like,
I was even having shakes in the morning, walk out my door and I throw up,
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, I was throwing up quite a lot actually, to be fair. But I wanted to put that size on, and I think it's paid off this year. Like I said, I've done no cardio. I've got a lot more muscle tissue.
Well, I was going to say that must be part of the reason why you're able to keep that output lower this time round is you've got more muscle tissue, right? So your metabolic rate is higher by default.
Yeah, too right. And it was the consistency. I'm quite consistent enough. I think you need to be. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I still go out every weekend, even 3 nights a week for food, but it'd always be decent food. I still go on holiday, and it's not like I was living in a shell all my life. I still have quite a good time. Mm-hmm. But as long as you're consistent in the day and you're training hard, and you're doing all the stuff you need to be doing, then I think you can do that. Definitely. And that's what I think balance is. When you stop dieting. Yeah.
So you hit 205. That was your peak body weight. Remind me what height you are. You're a similar height to me, right? 5'6" ish.
5'5", 5'6", yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really small.
Yeah. No, you and me both.
Yeah. So next time I'd like to get to 215, 210, 215.
Yeah. What's the heaviest you got to last year?
198.
Okay, so you another 6 pounds up and tighter.
Yeah, without doubt.
Awesome.
So,
peak week. Give me your thoughts on, say, how do you peak an average bikini girl, and then how would you peak maybe a male bodybuilder?
Right, so people start 2 weeks in and they're asking me about peak usually anyway. The key with everyone or anyone, if a girl or guy, is be ready before it.
Yep.
Be stage ready a week out, Be good to get on that stage a week out. And you have to, not that I would anyway, I mean, if you've got body fat, you're not going to do much with water, especially the bikini girl. You're not going to get any lean in that last week. I like to get people relaxing that last week, get all the cardio out, no more leg days, get them chilled out, and they usually get tighter just by doing that because the stress in the body's a lot less. Mm-hmm. Usually, a long period of time with a hell of a lot of stress in your body. So as soon as you start to relax, you start to get tighter naturally anyway with obviously less cortisol.
Yeah.
Guys, obviously, if we've got guys in good nick, with a lot of muscle, they're going to get carved up. I'm not going to start depleting them because they should be ready.
Yeah.
I don't see the point in depleting to load. Just be ready. Water, obviously, for girls doesn't really change much. They'll probably just drink a little bit less on the day or the day before. Yep. No restriction. Guys, obviously, bodybuilders are going to be cutting water. Some may use diuretics, some may not. But again, water is an issue. You only need a day to look at for a guy. You don't need to be, trying to pull water for 3 or 4 days. I've seen some people dehydrate 3 days before a show, 2 days before.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah, it should be like a 12 to 24 hour thing. The body's smart. Any adjustment you make, it's going to readjust itself. And
what happens then?
And then you overshoot. You hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not intracellular. It start looking fat and watery then.
Exactly.
So peak week is mainly just be ready. That's what I'm trying to stress to people, because you see your body's clever. You try and mess about with water and things like that and salt. It can only backfire usually. You'll look worse.
Yeah. In terms of, let's talk about it, in terms of diuretics, do you have a preferred one that you would tend to use if you've got guys that are willing to use a prescription-based?
Thiazide. It has a much better effect.
Yeah, safer as well, potassium sparing or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why it has a better effect.
Yeah.
Aldactone, you're going to start taking 4 or 5 days out properly, and that's one thing that is hard to master. I suppose in bodybuilding is that manipulation of diuretics and stuff like that in peak week. But again, if the tighter you are, the easier that is to do.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of natural diuretics, do you have any that you use over-the-counter ones if you've got a client that doesn't want to go down the prescription route?
Anabolic Design takes to remove. That. I've used that myself, to be honest. See what it was like. It's better than nothing. So I'm going to use that.
Yeah. Sodium? Do you play around with it?
So I make sure everything's consistent as possible. May reduce slightly if they're having a lot, but nothing major, because again, if they look good on high sodium, they'll look good on low sodium, keep it like that. Mm-hmm. Don't try to manipulate it.
And supplements throughout prep, do you have any go-tos?
I really like Shreddable as well near the end of a diet. You know, that you're getting tired and you need that extra kick as well. So Shreddable's really good. Standard supplements for people will be health-based usually. Glutamine for the gut, digestion, make that priority. Probiotics, curcumin inflammation for guys particularly, you know. Tudka for liver. What else is pretty good? I use like DIM for the females as well.
Yeah.
And there's a really good supplement called Alpha Venus by ATP.
Okay.
Which is really good for females, especially females that have got a bit of hormone imbalance, you know, so they've been on contraception, and that's the biggest issue I have with girls, actually.
Right.
Girls that are either on contraception or have recently come off, their bodies are very, you know, they're hormonally messed up, and it's very hard to get them lean. It's every single client I've had that's either on it or just come off it, the calories have to go super low and their output has to be very high. That is without exception. Obviously, you take the contraceptive pill for a reason, and I'm not saying don't take it, but know that it will have a big impact on dieting, and if not, can stop you being stage ready.
Yeah, especially body fat storage through the lower body, right?
Massively, yeah, massively. I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the body when they start taking. You know, it's an exogenous hormone at the end of the day. I don't think a doctor would prescribe us testosterone daily, would they? So, I think the pill is a very, very overused contraception, and people don't really know the impact that it's having on their health.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think it's quite, and it will probably come out in years to come, and how bad it is for females to take. Anything that messes with your hormones that much, and for a long period of time, is not.
Yeah, short bursts, I think is fine, but it's this long term thing that is it any different to, you know, a male bodybuilder using exogenous testosterone for weeks and weeks and months and years and years?
Yeah, exactly.
There's some consequences, and I think the females are going to eventually have the same thing.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. What about your Himbine? Do you ever use that?
Yes. Yeah, no, I do. Yeah. Load up on that, obviously. Progressively increase that as the diet goes on. It's quite good. I mean, it's a good stimulant as well.
Yeah.
So it can give you that kick up the arse in the morning, which is always a winner. Yeah, I do use that with females more. It's sometimes hard to get hold of.
You have to really order it from the US and hope that it comes, and even then it takes 7 to 10 days.
I've had people stopped at customs and never actually get it, and so that's the main problem with your inbound.
Yeah. Let's before we go into the last bit, actually, let's bring up just a random one: refeeds and cheat meals. Yeah. Give me your thoughts on these. Do you implement it? Some trainers will give it to their clients. Okay, every Saturday you've got a refeed day.
Yeah.
Do you program it in straight away? Do you play it by ear? Do you have a preference whether it's high carb, low fat refeed or just a free meal?
So my one-to-one clients that obviously get on stage, I'll just say, if you just to keep some sanity or whatever, have a refeed each week or weekend or whatever. If you get on stage, again, it's a different math. I don't think they should ever be programmed in, because your body doesn't know it's Saturday. It doesn't know you need a refeed on Saturday. So they get added in. Sometimes not at all with clients, depends how stubborn they are. Fat losses. Other clients, we can give them at refeeds every 5 days in their show, and the amount will depend on the muscle mass, how hard they can train. Usually I just add carbs in. Usually, guys that are fucking dropping like 5 pounds overnight or something like that, they might need a more dense calorie dense meal. So it might be pizza, burger, chips, whatever it may be. Only for it's for the purpose of needing it, like really needing it,
as opposed to wanting it.
Yeah, I think for myself, Jordan's obviously pushing me quite hard now, so I think I've had 4 refeeds in 8 weeks and I've lost 21 pounds, so it's not a lot. And there was only high carb refeed, they weren't cheat meals.
Yeah.
So females, I really don't give them that often, unless they're using body fit or they've got a hell of a lot of muscle. Just because they don't need it. You've got to really fucking need it, and people will go, I've lost 2 pounds this week, can I have a refeed? Like, no.
This is the irony in it, in that females usually are the ones that could, essentially most females doing bikini could really do a whole prep without needing a refeed.
Yeah, and if you,
but they're the ones that want it.
Yeah, and if you stand up in the right position, they don't need one because they'll drop nicely anyway.
Yeah,
and they're a lot of food. But yeah, a lot of, like, it's not saying bikini girls don't train hard, but they're smaller, they've got less muscle mass, you know. They don't generally don't need them. There's only the odd few that will need them.
Yeah, no, I notice it exactly the same as most of my female bikini clients. Maybe they'll have 1 to 2 in the whole prep.
Yeah,
because it's needed towards the end to help training performance.
Yeah,
but it's also the bikini girls that ask for it the most. It's like, come on, like I got these males that carry a shit ton more mass than you.
Yeah,
you know, pound for pound, they go in less calories actually because of the low carb days with that amount of muscle tissue.
Yeah.
And they're not asking for one.
You've got to deal with being hungry, you know, and that's it.
Yeah.
Refeeds or cheat meals, they use when you're very fucking lean as well. Like, again, bikini girls don't actually have to get that lean to, you know, they're not super shredded, they don't need shredded glutes, you know. So the level of body fat isn't that low where they would need one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's a big factor of people. Guys would obviously need them more frequently.
Mm-hmm. Let's finish up talking about Nathan. So my old colleague Nathan Johnson, one of your clients.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
He's looking brilliant.
Yeah, he works his fucking ass off. You tell him to do something, he'll do it, you know. He's a good guy, Nathan. I like Nathan. So he come to me, I think he'd already been dieting anyway, for like quite a while. His calories were pretty lower than I would like. And I said to him, we can't keep going like this, you know. If you're going to start with me, we need to get your calories up for a good few weeks first, you know, 6-7 weeks. Get to a point where we can actually come back down again.
Yep.
So he pushed his food up. He didn't really put much body fat on, which I kind of expected because he trains hard and he was lean anyway. And then we started to diet again after that. And I think he put his pictures up the other day where he's a couple of kilos heavier and a hell of a lot leaner now.
Yeah, he looks brilliant.
So that was from going on holiday, and then he's got a photo shoot booked in a couple of weeks now. So he's going to look really good for that. Really good.
Yeah.
He's the leanest he's ever been, you know, at that body weight.
The crazy thing about Nathan, and he won't mind me saying this, is the biggest transformation for him is actually his work ethic and his mindset. So when he first started back at UP, he started a photo shoot diet, and had one of our old colleagues dieting him, and he just kept cheating on it, giving up, skip training sessions. And then he asked me if I would help him, and I was quite reluctant to do so, but I was like, yeah, okay. And he sort of half stuck to it, half didn't. And then something changed, and it was like a flip was switched. And now he is on it. I mean, I was in Dubai. Hold up. Where's that gone? Just had a call come through on the Mac. That was annoying. When I was in Dubai, I said to him, let me take you out for a meal to say thanks for letting me crash at yours.
Yeah.
He's no, got to get my steps in. You know, I've got to do this, got to do that. I said to him, okay, perfect. Like, you are on it. Like,
that's the Nathan I know, you see, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Whereas if this was 2 years ago, no, he wouldn't have done it. Whereas he had his meals prepped, he was getting his steps in. You know, he's grinding the hours out there too. You know, he was he was up and early out trading clients. He was back late at night. So yeah, his mindset has changed massively. It's great. And
I think that's something you have to learn over time. You know, you get very few people that will come in and have that mindset straight away. Very few. It's same with me. You know, after my first prep, the best thing that happened to me was I did shit in my first comp.
Yeah.
It was a real kick up the arse. It's like, right, gotta fucking bring it this time. Kick up the arse, and that mindset happened with me then as well. Yeah. And you realise that you can. I used to look at all these different dieting techniques, you know, carb backloading and all that kind of stuff, and different training protocols. And what you realise is that if you do anything and do it hard and persistent, you'll get results.
Definitely.
You know.
Definitely.
That is the key. There's no shortcuts. You've got to bust your balls, you know. Like with anything, if you want a fucking successful business, you've got to work all the hours under the sun.
Yep, it's true. If only most people applied that mentality.
Yeah, then that's why I don't like this balance thing, because there's no balance. If you want to be good at something or very good at something, you don't have balance.
Yeah, you need to go for it. Apply yourself.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Too right.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Too right.
So that's all the questions for today's one. I'd like to get you back on again, maybe in a couple months, and then we'll go slightly more in depth, so we can progress each one. So to wrap it up, how can people get in touch with you?
Instagram, Coach J McHale. I'm actually in the process of putting content together for a membership site at the minute.
Great. Yep.
Because again, I just want to get good information out there. It'll be a small fee, but obviously when I'm full with clients, there needs to be another way to help people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to do next, and that's going to be from across the board, from your average client fat loss up to guys and girls that compete at good levels. So I want to put as much information on there and make it about more of my clients, not just me. I don't want to be on there training and shit. I want it to be about what I've done with this client, and this client's doing this. You know what I mean?
Perfect. There's some case studies and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just make it more relatable to people. I get bored of me, so why? People don't watch me all the time. But yeah, if they want to contact me, go on Instagram, Coach J McHale.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks for that, Josh.
No, cheers for having me, mate.
Good luck with the remaining 5 weeks.
Thanks, buddy.
No worries. Take it easy. Bye.
Bye bye.